Hello, everyone. I'm that one nerd, Jacob.
And then that one Scout Collins.
And welcome to episode 12 of Those Nerds on a Podcast. We're finally at the final episode of our bulk recording weekend, and it feels so fucking good.
Yes.
So I was just telling Caleb about this because we're recording this back to back with Isaiah's. But so the idea that I had for this one,
Mm-hmm.
deserted island gaming, right? So essentially, what this means, you're on a deserted island, but somehow on this island you have electricity, you have internet, and you do have the consoles that you're going to play the games on. Uh, so these are basically like not necessarily five favorite games of all time, but five games that I think we could definitely get the most time out of or help us pass the time on this deserted island.
Mm.
So we can break the I want to be able to lengthen this out, so I want to break it into categories. First category is single player games. Second category is online multiplayer. Third category uh is just a mix of the two, I guess. So we'll do single player, then multiplayer, then just pick our five that we would absolutely have to have from those 10.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and start off with my first five. So we're gonna go single player here.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, I want a game that I could keep coming back to, but also takes a while to complete, so that way I can enjoy it every time over and over again. Something that has an expansive world that is always able to be explored. I'm gonna go Breath of the Wild for my first single player pick.
Mm.
I was gonna think of other things like, stuff along the ends of Skyrim or another game similar to that, but I feel like an open world game would be a pretty good option to have, so that way you have something that you can sink time into, and it's almost a different experience every time.
You see, I was gonna pick Skyrim for that specific reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, just having an open world game feels like a perfect fit, because you can always have a different experience every time you do replay it, but there's also just that big world to explore to where it's like, eh, you know? So I feel like those are both good picks. Here, we'll go back and forth, so I'll let you talk about Skyrim, even though I
The
probably
reason,
listed all the exact same reasons you would pick it.
so the reason why I would pick Skyrim in this scenario, because if it's a single player game, you have to be able. Replayability is a huge thing in single player games. The thing is that Skyrim is just so expansive and so big that it uh it really it really lets you choose your own adventure. Not only that, but if you like to just kind of go through the motions and stuff and just play the game, the main quest line is one of those things that you can just always do if you want to.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, two solid first picks, I would say.
Hmm.
Second game, I'm not necessarily going to go for a longer game here, but it's definitely a game that I loved playing as a child. I loved replaying back whenever I did play it. It's going to be Mario Sunshine. That's definitely my personal favorite 3D Mario game. And it's not even a hard game to beat, but if you want to 100% the game, then you get into more length stuff. But it's just a fun game. The environment's just absolutely beautiful. It's a fun game to re-explore for me personally every time I go and play it. What's
Let's
your
see.
second pick here?
So it has to be a single player game.
Yes, I mean, it can have multiplayer aspects, but what we're specifically focusing on is why you would pick it for like its single player offerings.
So in that case, I would pick Mad Max Fury Road
Ooh.
because no matter how long you play that game, you can always blow shit up. You can always find random outposts. The game is huge. The story is really good. I love the Mad Max universe and
Hell
stuff.
yeah. Hell yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that'd be a fun game to play. Just drive around, blow shit up, stuff like that.
Gotcha. So this one's gonna feel like a cop out because this is multiple games, but it's our fucking list, damn it. I'm
Mhm.
a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. So one game that I would make sure to have with me, technically compilation, would be Kingdom Hearts: The Story So Far. It has it has all the Kingdom Hearts games from 1 all the way up to 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, which is a long fucking title, but that is combined in total I think 9 games. And the Kingdom Hearts universe is so expansive. Like, oh my god. It's so fun. Kingdom Hearts will always hold a special place in my heart, even though like I started playing the first Kingdom Hearts on stream. I just don't really think it's a game that I can stream, you know? It's a game that I love playing, but to me streaming it just feels weird. I don't know if that
Why is
makes
that?
sense. I
Why is
don't
that? Pretty.
I mean, the gameplay can get pretty repetitive. So, really the main thing is just because the story in Kingdom Hearts is amazing. Like one of the best video game stories I could imagine. But like I said, just the repetitive gameplay makes it feel like it's not worthy of being streamed, but it is always worthy of being replayed over and over and over again. So yeah, that's my third single player pick is Kingdom Hearts: The Story So Far.
Hmm. Hmm. Let me think. Well, if I had to say another game that I think would be really, really fun to
Mhm.
just play over and over and over again would probably have to be Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
Really?
I I played that game so much. I love The Phantom Pain.
Okay. Fair. Fair.
The reason why is because they have all these little side missions that you can do where it's like, hey, you see that guy? Go kidnap him. Cool. You see this bear? Fuck it up. You know, just stuff like that. And it's really, really fun.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid. All right, so pick number 4. I'm gonna be going with technically another compilation, but again, our list. Fuck you. It's gonna be Halo: The Master Chief Collection, having
Mm.
all the campaigns from Reach to Halo 4. That is, I think, a combined total of 80 plus missions to play through. Oh yeah, and Halo 3 ODST is included in that. So that's Reach 1, 2, 3, 3 ODST, 4. That's 6 campaigns to play through. If you're like me and you hate anything past Halo 3, that's 5 campaigns to play through. Uh, I'd still play through the Halo 4 campaign just because even though it has its shortcomings, I do love the Prometheans. Uh, but yeah, like just all those missions to play through, the entire story to sift through, it's a solid choice. And also, you know, it's nice to have a shooter single player game
Hmm.
for a change. What's your fourth pick for single
Not
player?
Doom Eternal.
Doom it. Oh yeah, rip and tear, dude. Rip and tear.
Just spending hours at a time, just ripping through demons and shit. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
go with Doom Eternal.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Pick number 5. This one is probably going to be my controversial pick, just because a lot of people don't like the newer Pokemon games, right? A lot of people think
Mm.
they're bad. I'm going to be going with Pokemon Violet. Again,
Mm.
I've played through it. It is a top 5 Pokemon game. I don't care anybody else's opinion. It is a top 5 Pokemon game because the story is great. It's another open world, like with I picked with Breath of the Wild. So it's fun to explore. Even after beating the game, I'm going through trying to get the legendary quartet. There's areas that I have never been to in this game that I'm just now discovering after beating it. Like, it is a massive world to explore. And I'm just a huge Pokemon fan. I feel like I couldn't make this list at all without picking at least one Pokemon game.
Mm.
Uh, and yes, Pokemon Violet does not have every Pokemon in it, but again, the story is probably one of the best stories we've ever gotten. The open world just makes it almost a no-brainer to pick. The only one that I would pick aside from Violet would probably wind up having to be Legends Arceus, just because, again, story, the open world. Uh, but yeah, Pokemon Violet is going to be my fifth pick for single player deserted island video game.
Mm, well, I'm gonna go with something out of left field.
Go for it.
We haven't picked a single player game that lets you just kind of take something and grow it, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Harvest Moon Magical Melody.
See, I almost went with an Animal Crossing game, so I have a sense of community, but
Yeah,
I had to
yeah.
pick the five that I picked. But yeah, Harvest Moon, yes, 100%.
I would. It's one of those things where my favorite games are just the ones that I can sit back and just kind of watch shit happen and let things just kind of develop.
Right.
It's one of the reasons why, like, there's gonna be a one of my picks is gonna be very obvious when you hear me say that, but that's under the multiplayer category.
Right, yeah, because we are about to start doing the multiplayer category. But yeah, Harvest Moon, I mean, that's a solid one. Like I said, I almost wanted to go with either an Animal Crossing game or Stardew Valley, just so that way I have still some sort of interaction with people, even though they're
Mhm.
computers. But yeah, honorable mention to Stardew Valley. I almost picked that. All right, so I'll let you kick off the multiplayer category.
So my first pick has to be Minecraft.
Oh, dude. Okay, then I guess we can both say the same game. I was gonna say Minecraft.
You have to have Minecraft as a multiplayer.
Mhm.
Not only that, you could, if you don't feel like playing with anybody else, you could just hop on and play by yourself. It's one of those it's one of those things where, yeah, sometimes you can get a little bored, but
Mhm.
then if you're bored of playing with multiple people, you can just hop on and start doing your own thing in
Yeah.
your own, and it's one of the reasons why I'm very sad that I'm one of the last people. I'm literally the only one that plays on the server anymore.
Yeah, but like in regards to that, starting a new world in Minecraft, unlike the other open world games we talked about, no two worlds are going to be the same unless you put in the same seed. So,
Yep.
if you decide to start a new world, it is an entirely new experience. Yes, the gameplay is the exact same, but you are not familiar with your environment. You're having to rediscover all the caves, all the mountainous regions, find the
Maybe I
best
should
area
just
for your base. So, like, yeah, that would be like the perfect game to bring for a deserted island situation.
maybe I should just restart the seed for the server and see who's interested.
Perhaps. But yeah, so
Perhaps.
we both agree on the first game. So Caleb, take it away with your second multiplayer game.
Second multiplayer has to be something that you could it has to have a competitive edge to it because Minecraft is one of those things where
It's very
uh
casual.
yeah, but you could, but I'm a competitive person, so you need something to sort of like, kind of, get the edge off a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking probably it would probably be Super Smash Bros Ultimate.
Okay,
Like,
well, we're agreeing on a second one.
the reason why is because literally when they came out with those commercials that said "settle it in Smash," I was like, that's actually a really good way to settle disputes. Is you just play a Smash game.
Yeah.
It's better than me smashing this guy's fucking face.
Yeah, but like Smash, even though like there was at one point me and a lot of my friends got burnt out from it, I'm starting to rediscover my love for it. And also
I
there's
think the
there's multiple ways to play. You can play with a competitive rule set, you can play casually with items. Like you can make up your own custom game modes, like the Juggernaut game mode that we made, where one person has like 500 health and then three people have 100. There's multiple ways to play the game.
I think the reason why people got burnt out from it was because people were like making themselves play it.
Yeah, that
And
was my thing, is like whenever all the DLC and stuff would come out, I would force myself to play for a week. Now that I'm just playing to my own, schedule and how I want to play, it feels so much better.
I can imagine why.
Yeah. All right, pick number 3. We're agreeing so far on every single multiplayer game.
Okay, another multiplayer game that we would have to have. Hmm, probably. Well, yeah, it would have to be Fortnite.
God damn, stop stealing my fucking picks. Okay, we're agreeing on a third one.
Well, I don't play a lot of multiplayer games that don't involve you know.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
yeah,
just one of those.
Fortnite, I mean, it's always changing to keep itself fresh. So even if you get tired of a season, by the time the next season comes out, there's enough that changed to make it feel like a new experience. And you also
Hmm.
have the plethora of creative maps.
Hmm.
It's a perfect game. By that I mean it's not a perfect game, but still, you know what I mean. It's a perfect game to have in a situation where you're on a deserted island.
Yeah.
Anything you want to
Uh,
say about it?
Fortnite is just one of those. Like you covered a lot of the bases. The reason why in particular would play Fortnite is because it's a shooter that I actually enjoy.
Mhm.
I A lot of places like COD, I don't play COD because it's not very fun for me.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where I used to have fun, and then I discovered that I just don't sweat as hard as other people. So
And that's the thing with a lot of shooter multiplayer games is that they're not fun because you have people that never play another game. Sure, you have that with Fortnite, but there's enough balance of casual and competitive players in a given game of Fortnite to where it's always a fun time.
and you know, even if the one thing I do love about COD is I love the gameplay style,
Mhm.
but the maps are always too small for me. I don't have anywhere to really I don't really have anywhere that I could find cover and just kind of hunker down. And
Yeah.
even if I did, that's shamed in COD, but in Fortnite, that's just considered part of the game. It's like
Definitely.
it's like how dare you camp? It's like motherfucker, I'm behind cover trying to win the game. What are you talking about?
Yeah. All right. Number 4. Let's see if we're just going to do a clean sweep of multiplayer games here.
Let's see, a good multiplayer for people to play, like because let's as much as I love the competitive streak, there needs to be something that just kind of brings people together and makes people laugh. I would have to say Jackbox would be one of my picks,
Okay,
and
that's one that I didn't actually consider, but I would agree with. But I'm not gonna 100% agree on that one. But yeah, go ahead. Let's see.
the reason why is because if I'm in a deserted island and there's other people with me, I would assume that I would go to this deserted island with people I liked. Otherwise, it's just a freak accident
Yeah, we'll just
somehow.
always assume best case scenario with this. It's like you're with friends or you have full online capabilities to play with people online.
I love playing Jackbox in person. As much as I love the streams, I always enjoy it more when it's in
In
person.
person is always a lot better for sure.
For one thing, I don't have to follow the terms of service on Twitch.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, my fourth pick is going to be Mario Party. Specifically, I'm going to say Mario Party 6 cuz that's just always been my favorite Mario Party. Sure, it doesn't have online capabilities, but again, we're going to assume best case scenario for everything. So we're going to assume that I have at least 3 other people that would want to play. The mini games in Mario Party 6 have always been my favorite. The boards are amazing. I love the day to night functionality with all of them. Mario Party 6 is just that's the one that I was always go to as a kid. So I have to pick Mario Party 6, dude. Like I have to have it. And if I had to pick one that had to be played online, then obviously Mario Party Superstars. But I mean, Mario Party 6 is where it's at, dude. Pick
Yeah,
number
I agree.
5.
Number five. Let's see. Multiplayer game that I play that I would enjoy playing for eternity on a deserted island.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, he's putting some thought behind this one.
Wii Sports Resort.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay, that's solid. I also wasn't really considering Wii Sports or any of the games similar, but I mean
Yeah.
that's one that yes,
Wii
100%.
Sports, because there once again there are single player games that are a little that are fun, but you can also, hit each other with virtual swords. You can fly planes into each other and have a dog fight. You could just play golf if that's your thing.
Yeah,
Uh, Archery it's just a solid game for the family.
definitely. Yeah, that's again one I didn't really think of, but like it's true. That's just a solid game to have. I've never seen a single person say no whenever you ask, "Hey, do you want to play Wii Sports?" Like it's not anybody's favorite game, but it's definitely just a good go-to game.
Yeah.
All right. My fifth pick, final pick for multiplayer games on a deserted island is going to have to be Castle Crashers Remastered.
Castle Crashers.
Dude, as Caleb was saying, it's perfect for single player if you want to do that, but Castle Crashers is just so goofy and fun, and it's not even that long of a game either, but you can replay it multiple times, you can play as a different character every time you beat the game, and then playing it with multiple people is always just so much fun. Like, I remember whenever we both still lived in Manford, we would have people stay the night at my house, and it would always be like me, you, Tristan, and Miguel would just play Castle Crashers like through the night, and it was so much fun. So Castle Crashers would definitely be my fifth pick for multiplayer. But now we have to pick out of the 10 games that we listed, only
Mm.
5 that we can bring with us.
Well, I think we're good on the multiplayer front.
Yeah, but we have to now pick out of the 5 single player and out of the 5 multiplayer. We can only now have 5.
So
So,
5 total.
yes, 5 total.
Okay.
So,
Minecraft.
yeah,
Just
I was about to say Minecraft for sure. Definitely Breath of the Wild. Again, I've explained that. I need to have some sort of open world game that I can play. Uh Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Single player is great. Multiplayer, even though there are some sweats, it's fine. Uh let's see. What else did I say? Shit. Pokemon Violet. I need to have some sort of Pokemon game. Uh excuse me. God. And then Mario Party. Those would be the 5 that I absolutely have to bring, you know?
my 5 that I would have to bring would be Minecraft. I'm gonna just take one for the team and say Wii Sports Resort because honestly, it's just a solid choice that I could play with anybody.
Mhm.
Um, and then I would have to say, mm, Skyrim.
Yeah.
So I'm at 3, so I got 2 more.
Mhm.
Let's see. I've got probably probably Smash
Yeah. Okay.
and Fortnite.
Okay. I'd say we both picked some solid games.
I just realized all of my games could be played on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say we did some solid picks though. And again, if anyone wants to complain that we picked compilations, or at least I did, fuck you. You're just a bitch. Um, it's my list. It's our list. Damn it. We can do whatever the fuck we want. That only took us to 24 minutes.
Oh Jesus. Well, let's go. Well, let's go ahead and say, okay, we have these games, and on this deserted island. Um, why? Uh, it, with your game specifically, would you try and start leagues and stuff with that, or would you
Mm-mm. Purely
so you just
casual. I wouldn't want to
purely
be too
casual?
competitive because if I get too competitive, I get angry too easily.
Mm,
Like I do not want to be competitive. I just want to play all these casually. There's no way I could start a league and be happy.
mm. Aren't you the one who constantly hosts Smash tournaments?
And
I can't
there's
start a
there's a
league and be
reason
happy.
there's a reason that I don't play in a lot of them because I get too competitive. Like even if I try to like appear happy, like, oh yeah, GG, GG, I'm always getting pissed at myself because I'm like, I could have done that better. I could have done this better. I shouldn't have 0 and 2'd out of this tournament. You know, I get pissed at myself. So,
Boy, do I know that feeling. I
like,
shouldn't have 0 and 2'd out of this tournament.
granted, yes, I did sign up for Smash Out 3 just because a lot of the people in chat were like, dude, just fucking do it. I'm like, okay, I'll try. I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'm going to 0 and 2 out of my own tournament, and I'm going to be pissed off the rest of it. But I'm going to try it, you know? So, yeah, if you're going to sign up for that tournament or watch that stream, just know that I'm going to be very angry. Um, but yeah, it has to be purely casual for me. There's. Mm-mm.
I get that. For me, it's just one of those things where I play games to decompress a lot of the time,
Mm-hmm.
and whenever I play competitive, it just allows me to burn off some steam, which is why I participate in the Smash tournaments all the time. Um,
That's fair. That's fair.
but my in my video game my start in video games was we had a GameCube when I was a little, and if we couldn't have games on the GameCube, I didn't get to play them because
Yeah,
I didn't go over to people's houses like a lot when I was a kid.
that's
So
fair.
I didn't go over to Johnny's house and play on his Xbox and stuff. So I to this day have never played the Halo campaigns like at all.
Yeah, see,
I've only played the multiplayer.
it's kind of the opposite for us. We were upper middle class growing up before we moved to New Mexico. So any game console we wanted, any new video game we wanted, me and my brother would get. We were the ones that had all the consoles. We had Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, we had the fucking Xbox 360, had a PS2, had a Sega Genesis. We had anything we had wanted. So, you know, we were always able to get games. And if we couldn't buy a game, you know, whenever Blockbuster and Family Video were still around, we would just go and rent a game for the weekend,
Hmm.
play through that real quick, and then return it. But yeah, like that was my thing. That's why I enjoy gaming so much, probably just because I grew up doing nothing but. Uh but yeah,
I
I
remember
can. Hmm?
I remember when it was such a big deal that we got a PlayStation 2. And then this was like 5 years after it came out too.
Right. See, now I appreciate what I do have, cuz like as a kid, I'm gonna admit I was spoiled as hell. Like I said, we were upper middle class. We got anything we wanted. Never really had to struggle as a kid. But, you know, now that I have to pay for shit myself, I now
Mm.
appreciate the fact that we were able to get all that stuff because that stuff isn't cheap. Like, I want an Xbox Series S and a PS5. I'm not going to be able to afford that for a while. I'm too fucking broke. But I appreciate what I do have currently because now I understand the struggle of how to get that stuff, especially, you know, during the old 2008 economic recession we had, still
Oh
somehow
yeah.
able to get all that stuff. That makes me appreciate what we had even more when even if I didn't realize it whenever I was a kid.
Mm, I didn't realize I knew I've always known what it was like to be poor, but when I was a kid, uh knowing what it's like to be poor was, oh, we just can't have that.
Mhm.
I didn't realize until I got married and I was the bread maker how embarrassing it is sometimes to be poor.
Yeah.
I remember it was right after I moved my wife down to Georgia, and the move was a little bit expensive, and getting down here was just a little hard, and we were scraping by, and we had this thing called WIC, right?
Yeah.
And we were literally buying groceries with just the WIC card, right? And I remember sitting there thinking, okay, we're gonna get this and we're gonna be fine. And then we got rejected by the WIC card, and we had to put shit back. And
Right.
I've never been in the position where I was the broke one having to put shit back, and I was just devastated. I was like, I feel like such a shitty husband right now because
Mhm.
I wasn't able to able to get. And my wife was just like, "Babe, this is fine," because when she grew up, she had to put shit back all the time.
Right.
So for her it was normal, but for me, I'm just sitting there like, ugh.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
the reason why we didn't have to put shit back a lot is because my mom was really good at math, so she'd be able to just in her head go instantly, can't afford that, put it back.
mhm,
But for me, I wasn't quite like, I'm not quite like that. So
right.
I was like, we'll probably be fine, and we were not.
I mean, luckily with me and Summer's case, we always get enough money in at the end of the month to cover our bills. I use my tip money from work to cover cost of groceries and everything. We don't have a lot left over after, necessary purchases, but we're alive. We're
Yeah,
we're we're living,
yeah.
we're surviving. We've got each other. We both stream, which makes us happy. So I mean, at,
Have
at
you?
at first, whenever this had all happened, I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to afford anything. But then I'm like, you know what? I got the people that I care about, and I am not struggling.
You learn how to be grateful for the little things.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like,
You,
God damn, I never realized how expensive groceries were whenever my dad was the one paying for them. But
yeah.
now, whenever I see, like, a bag of chips is $5, I'm like, holy shit, what?
Have you seen that TikTok of that guy of that fucking of that, I'm just gonna say it, spoiled jackass saying, guys, I can't believe I have to work just to like survive. Have you seen that TikTok?
I have, and it
I'm
it
just
made me upset. I really hope it's like a
uh,
character thing where it's like, oh yeah, I'm pretending to be spoiled just to make people mad. But
I was just like, say psych right now. I was like, you absolute. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Of course you have to work to survive. Everyone has to work to survive. There is literally no time on God's green earth that anyone ever had to not work in order to survive.
true.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like seeing stuff like that, it's just like, yeah, I understand there's some jobs where it's like underpaid for your work, but also like you have to realize like unfortunately money's what makes the world go round. You're not going to be able to move anywhere in the world where you get to not work a single day in your life and not suffer for it.
Oh, why didn't I just not work and survive? Oh, jeez, what an idea! Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, again, going back to what we talked about, an hour ago, but technically a week ago, whenever I took an axe to the foot, I couldn't afford to pay my bills because I couldn't fucking work.
Yeah,
It was miserable. That's another thing that made that 2.5 months miserable is the fact that I wanted to work so I could pay my bills, but I couldn't. I was in such good standings with everything. I had 2 credit cards that were always paid off on time. I had all my bills that were always paid off on time. My credit score was closing in on 700 whenever that had happened.
woo.
After I couldn't pay those bills for months, it dropped down to 515.
Ooh.
I'm slowly climbing back up, but it's just like, dude, especially in America, if you can't work, you can't survive.
I think that's just what it's like everywhere, to be honest.
Well,
Like,
the credit system here is a little bit more harsh than some other places. I'm not going to get too much into it because there's going to be some people that'll get pissy and everything, but like it is like a little bit harsher credit wise here than some other places, but pretty much every place in the world has some sort of system in place that's like they want to make sure you're financially responsible before you can get stuff like loans, credit cards, other things. You have to be financially responsible no matter where you go.
you're telling me this guy wants to buy a house, but he can't fucking pay rent? We're not lending him money. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get off the topic of that now. Fuck that. Fuck you. What do you want to
Fuck
talk about?
me.
We we've
Fuck you.
we've made it to the 35-minute mark after talking
What do I
about
want to?
struggling.
What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the American financial system.
No! Oh no!
Nerds out about it.
If you wanted to, you'd technically be allowed
I,
to, but
I know
oh
that's such a shit thing to nerd out about.
no!
So here's how to improve your This is how John Cena on the Experian ad told me how to improve my credit.
All he said was Experian, and immediately my credit boosted 100 points.
Literally, yes.
Oh my god.
I love those fucking commercials.
Yeah, and the fact that he's riding a cow that just says boost.
It's one of those most surreal images I've ever fucking seen, and I love it.
Same, honestly. Oh man.
I love John Cena.
Me too. He's a treasure.
Have you seen him in Peacemaker?
I need to watch Peacemaker. Like, there's so
You
many shows and so many movies that I keep telling people that I have to watch, but it's like me and Summer are watching Adventure Time and Glee right now. We're about to start our Marvel marathon. Like, we started Captain America, so we did the math. It is 11 days worth of movies and shows to watch if you only watch the stuff that's officially listed as MCU. So, like, ignoring stuff like Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil, shows like that, which weren't officially released as MCU, but they could tie in. That takes 11 days in a row. And we only really have enough time to watch 1 or 2 movies in a weekend.
I hope if they redo Punisher, they bring back John Berthol.
Oh, they fucking better. I mean, if they're able to bring back all the actors that they have been able to bring back, I'm pretty sure they could.
I mean, John Berthol is a national treasure. Nobody can do rage quite like he can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just that unbridled. Him as Shane was amazing because he looked like an actual fucking psychopath.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, my wife and I are watching The Walking Dead because she's never seen a lot of the stuff. I haven't made it to season 11 yet, but
yeah, see, that's the same way I am. Whenever we first moved back to Oklahoma, that's all my sister would watch. So, like, if I was in the living room with her, I'd sit down and I'd just be like, okay, cool, we'll watch The Walking Dead. But I've never really gone out of my way to watch the whole series. And again, there's too many series that I need to catch up on and need to watch.
I get that. I get that a lot. But we're watching Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead, and Game of Thrones.
So you're just watching nothing but dramas.
And the reason why is because I love Charity to death, but she's a drama mama. She likes to watch her dramas. You know, she unironically watches Pretty Little Liars and stuff like that. I'll come home and there's Pretty Little Liars or Teen Wolf or 2.5 Men or something like that.
Hang on, are you shitting on 2.5 Men?
It's kind of just the same joke over and over again in each episode.
Yeah, but that's the only reason I like it so much is because that's the show me and my dad would always watch after school and stuff.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come in and the one with black hair is not gonna know is gonna be like, the kid has to do something, and then the other one's gonna be like, I accidentally got myself in trouble, and then the kid is like, I'm going to sit here and be miserable while you two fuckers fail. And then they're going to be like, I'm sorry we failed. We'll do better. I forgive you. The end. That's every episode of 2.5 Men.
That's fair. But no, like, the shows me and Summer have always watched. First of all, we watched through every episode of Impractical Jokers.
No, that's just obviously.
Yeah, it's one of the best shows to ever grace televisions. Larry!
You peaked your mic.
Yeah, you peaked yours too.
Okay.
So we watched all of Impractical Jokers. Whenever season 11 releases on HBO Max, we're probably gonna watch them all again. Like I said, we're rewatching all of Adventure Time right now. We've rewatched all of Teen Titans together. I think we watched Avatar together whenever I had the accident. She said yeah from the other room. So yeah, we watched Avatar together.
My wife and I watched Avatar because she'd never seen it before. So I said, we're fixing that now.
But yeah, like, granted, there are shows that both of us watch separately that the other person's not interested in. Like, Summer never really got into Star Wars. So whenever I freak out about stuff like The Mandalorian or The Bad Batch or Andor, stuff like that, she doesn't really care. But
Mm.
she also listens because she wants to take an interest in my interest. And I try to listen whenever she talks about shows that she watches because I want to try to take interest in her interests, even if I'm not
Yeah.
interested.
I'll watch an episode of Teen Wolf or two, and what my wife loves is when I look at the show and I call something that's going to happen, and she's like, "How do you know that?" And I'm just like, "It's because it's the same format over and over and over again. That's how I know that." Oh, Jake's gone. He's on the floor. He's got back up. He's out the door.
I'm not out the door.
Leave.
No.
Oh.
Oh, dude. I'm still thinking about that omelet I made for myself and ate an
Oh
hour
my
ago.
god.
It was so good.
Was it really that bussin'?
It was that bussin', dude. Every bite was heaven.
Mm.
Like, I make myself a mean breakfast. If there's one thing that I'm good at cooking, it's, for one, grilled food, but also breakfast is, like, my shit. I have never made bad breakfast.
I make myself up meme food.
Meme food.
Purple burger. Hey, is that one purple? Purple is my favorite color.
Oh, I love being purple. Dude, you know
That
one
thing is
thing?
green.
You know one thing that I'm looking forward to though whenever season 11 of Impractical Jokers hits HBO Max?
What?
They had MJF as one of the guest hosts.
Oh boy.
I saw one of the clips and dude, he is amazing on the show. Although I do miss Joe being on there. Like
Joe was that chaos factor that a lot of guys.
Yes, and Joe tied the show together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. In ranking from most to least favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate any of the Impractical Jokers, but some of them are better than the others. Top for me is Sal. Me and Summer both just love Sal. Sal's amazing. Second, possibly even tied for first, is Joe. Because, again, Joe was chaotic. He would pretty much do anything they ever told him to do.
Which is why one of my favorite clips is when Q says in the mic, "Joe, stab Murray's throat." And Murray's like, "No, no, no, no," because he's genuinely afraid that Joe would take that knife and just fucking do it.
So then third is Q. You know, like, he's just sort of an average guy, just the average Joe. I relate to him. Average Joe, after talking to Joe. And then fourth is Murr. Again, he's not bad, but he's a pussy. Like, he refuses to do a lot of stuff. You know?
One of my favorite ones is when they had him do the vampire thing, and then it turns
the
out
vampire in the choir, the church choir, had 3 friends that did me wrong.
And then and then they made him testify, and we're just like, "Oh no!" And he looks like he's about to cry and shit because he's just so embarrassed.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's, oh my god. Again, I love all of them, but that's like the definitive ranking, you know? That it has to be. It has to be.
The thing with fucking Sal, that meme where he's doing the fucking sandwich in terms of the Subway, I am God.
Oh yeah, I remember Token sending that during one of the first Try Not to Laughs, and that almost broke me. Just Sal yelling, "I am God!"
It's Mason the Halo music in the back.
Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing. I love Sal so much. Jesus.
Yeah, Joe is definitely my favorite. My next favorite is actually Q,
That's fair.
because Q is so good at getting away with shit, and that's why I love him. He's just so smooth that
Yeah,
he's just
he
able
is
to
a
go.
smooth talker.
He's got that Queen's like smooth charm to him, and I'm just like, and I love watching him talk his way out of a lot of shit. And I
Yeah.
love it and I especially love his dynamic with Sal because Sal is just so fucking awkward sometimes.
I
So
know.
so Q will literally trap Sal in some situations, like especially when they're like doing opposing presentations and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
like the head-to-head
You
things.
will body pretty much anybody. The only one who really stands a chance is Joe,
Because
and
Sal
even
and
then.
Murr, they'll look at things and they'll just be like, "Mm. You see,
Meanwhile, Joe was like, Sal is just like, yeah, I stand by this. Here's why. He's just so good at thinking on his feet. And the only like to the point where pretty much Joe was the only one that could even compete with Sal in those head to head sometimes.
Yeah. I love Impractical Jokers. Such a good show.
It is such a good show. Have you seen the Meat Canyon parody of them?
Yes.
Take a shot. Take a shot, man. Lindsay blood. For some reason, Q is the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man.
I know. It's so stupid.
I love Meat Canyon so much, but goddamn,
God damn, is Meat Canyon fucking cursed?
that's the point though. But I
I
love it when sometimes I can't tell if he's trying to go for funny cursed or not, and that's a little bit more disturbing.
right.
Like the Pinocchio episode where he's like, "Father, I crave your flesh," and, and I'm just like, "Will I finally be a real boy?"
All right. Well, we have about 10 minutes left. I don't know what to talk about at all. After recording
Uh,
4 episodes in a row, you kind of start running dry on material.
well then, I activate my trap card.
Oh boy.
Do you want our kids to look more like you or like me?
I,
Answer the question.
I don't fucking know.
Answer the goddamn question,
I
Jake.
did. I answered the question. I don't know. Okay?
I
Listen.
I feel like if he had your if a son had your hair but my blue eyes, they would literally kill. They would literally be a lady killer. There's
True.
no way. There's
Video
no fucking
viewers,
way.
look in our cameras right now. Who do you think our children should look more like? I just heard Summer say help in the background. Anyway, draw another trap card. That one was kind of bullshit.
You activate my trap card. Let me just get a nice, good one right here.
Yeah, get a good card. What is it?
Which of our in-laws do you prefer in the house?
Well, the only answer you would have is my dad. Hmm.
I don't know. Your mom could chill on the sofa for a few minutes if she wants.
Yeah, just chilling in the sofa like,
Yep. You know,
God damn it.
I just thought of something completely fucking morbid.
Say it, pussy.
What if on Mother's Day you just release a whole bunch of stuff that says Happy Mother's Day and it's you doing mother son activities with a fucking skeleton?
Oh my, I need to find a prop skeleton. I need to. We have prop skeletons that work for Halloween. I'm gonna ask if I can take one home, borrow it, and bring it back.
Post them on Facebook. Roger's just weeping.
See, I refuse to post a lot of my internet stuff on Facebook because my siblings have the best fucking way of just putting me down and making me feel bad about anything that I enjoy. And then they also ask like, why don't you ever tell us stuff? Because you guys always make fun of me and say that it's stupid. Sorry
Why
if
don't
any
you
of
ever
y'all
tell
watch
us
this.
stuff?
Sorry if any of y'all watch this podcast, but That's why I
I
don't tell you guys a lot of things.
you just suck.
It's not even
You
that they
just
suck. Like at Christmas, they tried to show some interest in my streaming and everything, but you can tell they were only doing that to make conversation because I was there.
yeah.
Like, whenever I said I streamed and did stuff on YouTube, one of my sisters straight up said that it was a waste of time and called me stupid.
Ah,
Um, Another one of my brothers showed some interest. I think he liked the idea of it, especially because I was still working at the time. Uh, Whenever I worked at the party company that did Disney stuff, the one of my sisters was like, it's stupid. You're dressing up like characters for children. I'm like, that's the point. You're not going to see children dressing up for a party company and convincing other children that they are that character. Like, that's the point. There's just a lot of stuff about my life that I enjoy. And my dad is the only one that I can really talk to about stuff because even though it's stuff that he might not enjoy, he at least tries to listen and pay attention.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, my siblings just have this weird power of putting me down no matter what I say. And
I
like
can't.
it just
I
sucks.
I can't watch anime around your dad
There's a lot of
because
things that I wouldn't be able to do around my dad. Like, whenever
like
you
like
brought over those Mike's Hard Lemonades to our trailer while he was home, I was just sitting there shitting myself like, oh, my dad hates alcohol, but I want one. Actually, I'll have two.
and it was one of those things where it's like I wasn't really thinking about it because wasn't it like wasn't that like right after the wedding or something, or
It was
was
close to after the wedding because I knew there was a wrestling pay-per-view and you just sort of brought it over. He never said anything. I don't think he cared because he saw that we weren't trying to get fucking wasted. I think that's his main thing. Like, he doesn't like when people constantly drink, you know?
and Roger like knows me, so it was one of the he didn't even pull me aside. It's like, hey, Caleb, don't bring any alcohol in my house next time. He didn't even do that.
Well, also though, I don't think he knew how to bring that up to one of my friends without coming off as rude because the thing is, like,
Ah,
he
if you,
likes he likes my friends and he wants to seem like the cool parent that anyone can hang out around, which also means like there's some things like with wrestling parties he would tell me about that he would never tell my friends and I'm like, dude, just tell them next time. They respect you and they like you. They're not going to be mad. They're just going to realize like, oh yeah, this is his house. I should probably respect his rules.
did I ever break any of Roger's rules?
I don't know. He's said multiple things about multiple people multiple times and I'm just like, you have to tell them. You can't expect me to tell them because they're going to think that it's just me getting annoyed with shit.
Yeah. Although to be fair, Tristan, Evan, and I are usually really good house guests because if we're not good house guests, Mom would beat our ass.
That's fair, but like a lot of it normally just boiled down to like language or people not
hmm
picking up after themselves, which happened a lot. Uh, but yeah, I'd always tell them, I'm just like, Dad, you have to just tell these guys. They're not going to be mad at you, and it's not like they're not going to come over anymore. I say as me, you, Tristan, Evan, Miguel never go over anymore because I no longer live there.
Well, I no longer live there either.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Tristan doesn't really like to go out.
Yeah, that's true. He is a homebody. All right, we only have like 5 minutes left, and I can't think of anything.
You maybe I should do a nerd out.
I'm not even gonna nerd out. I no longer have anything to nerd out about. All my nerd outs have been done over the past 3 episodes, over the past 2 fucking days.
You know what? I could probably think of something. Give me a few seconds. I got this.
Oh
Yes, the
man.
juices are flowing. Yes. Okay, I got this.
All right, I'll get your timer set up. Ready?
Yep. Nerd out. I really like shirts. I really like shirts. The thing about shirts is that I'm very particular about the kinds of shirts that I like to wear. For instance, I don't like V-necks. I hate it when I hate wearing V-necks on myself because I have such a big chest. that for s- the, that it looks really wonky whenever I wear V-necks. Um, I prefer like normal t-shirts like this, and I really like it if they got that reinforced collar, like right here.
Yeah.
Like this is my favorite kind of shirt most of the time. But I also have these sports shirts that breathe really easily, so I like those as well. Um, Whenever we get into fancy territory, I prefer flannels and stuff. Like I don't like monkey suits, if you could, a lot of times you could find me in jeans and Vans and and a blazer, and that would be my quote unquote fancy stuff. But I've gotten into monkey suits before.
Yeah.
Like if you saw my wedding, I can rock a monkey suit if I need to.
For
But
sure.
um, moving on to socks. Socks are one of those things where you got to be very, very careful because if your socks are too thin, they're gonna rub up against your boots, they're gonna rub up against your shoes, and you're just gonna get blisters. But if they're too thick, it's gonna be hot.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get those. So you got to find that nice balance of going in between thickness and breathability, which is why I like Fox Rivers. By the way, they're like for socks they're pretty expensive, but they're pretty good socks.
Fair.
Um, Moving on to underwear. I wear
My camera's so dusty. I'm just now seeing it with the light hitting it the way it is. I need to
yeah
clean that some bitch.
yeah. Moving on to underwear. I like all forms of underwear. I like sliders that are really sporty and they kind of just get in all the nooks and crannies where they need to be. I also wear briefs a lot because we had to wear briefs during basic training. So I now actually have like calluses where my hips because of that stuff. Um yeah. But I like all forms of underwear. The only real form of underwear that I don't really like at all is when they're too loose. Like I prefer a little tight to a little loose for my
See,
underwear.
with mine, I wear boxer briefs, but they're kind of like the dry fit
Yeah.
material. That's all I have. Like I don't
hmm
have any other kinds.
Um for pants are one of those things. I hate skinny jeans. I hate skinny jeans so much.
Same.
I can't fucking move in those shits. I like a nice relaxed or regular fit. Um
Dude, these jeans that I have on right now, these are from Walmart. They are so fucking stretchy.
Yeah, it's probably a polyester blend or something. Is that
Yeah.
my time?
No, you have a minute and a half left. I'm gonna.
Moving on to shoes. Shoes are one of those things where you need to have different pairs of shoes for different activities. Like you need a pair of running shoes that are literally for running. Whenever you're going into the gym to lift weights, I have a pair that I like to use for that. And then I've got work boots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I didn't realize how many that made it worse. I didn't realize how much how important taking care of my feet was until I joined the military and stuff. Yeah, that made it so much worse. Maybe you shouldn't do this while
Keep
you're
talking,
recording.
damn it!
But yeah, it was one of those things where I just learned that as I got older that there were certain things that I prefer over the others. Also, overalls are just fantastic because you could just throw them over anything
I
and
disagree.
and I love my
Nah,
overalls.
listen, I
I
think
love my overalls.
overalls make you look like a hick piece of shit. I'm sorry. Has to be said.
But I also love overalls because they have more pockets than normal pants. So I got more storage. So soon you're gonna see me rocking overalls with a vest that has pockets with a fanny pack, and I'm just gonna have all the pockets.
Okay.
That's my
Well,
nerd out.
I don't really have a nerd out still, and that is time. So I'm gonna just go ahead and call it here, mostly because I also have to clean my fucking camera lens really bad. So thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. This has been a fun 4 recordings in a row, but I am so ready to have a break from recording. So thank you guys all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week, and have a great day. Have a great day. Caleb's gonna keep dancing. See you guys.